I never thought silence could feel so loud. I'm sitting in the home theater of a mansion I bought 3 years ago, the one with the indoor pool, the wine cellar I never use, and the master bedroom that overlooks the city like we're floating above everyone else's problems. The screen in front of me is black. I'm not watching anything. I'm just staring at my own reflection in the glass, and I don't recognize the man looking back. Somewhere upstairs, she's probably asleep, or pretending to be. I don't know which is worse. It's been 6 hours since she said it. 6 hours since the words left her mouth and landed like a blade between my ribs, and I keep replaying it, over and over, like game footage I can't stop analyzing, looking for the moment it all fell apart. We were in the kitchen. I'd just gotten back from practice. My body was sore, my mind was heavy, and all I wanted was to sit down with her, maybe share a quiet dinner, maybe just exist in the same space without having to perform, without having to be the guy everyone expects me to be. But she was already angry when I walked in. I could feel it in the air, the way you feel a storm coming before the first drop of rain. I asked her what was wrong. She didn't look up from her phone. "Nothing," she said, but her voice had that edge, that sharpness that means everything. I tried again. "Babe, talk to me. What's going on?" And that's when she finally looked at me. Her eyes were cold, distant, like I was a stranger she'd been forced to sit next to on a long flight. "You want to know what's wrong?" she said. "You." I didn't know what to say to that. So I just stood there, still holding my gym bag, still wearing the smell of sweat and effort, waiting for her to explain. "You're never here," she continued. "And when you are here, you're not really here. You're tired, you're distracted, you're thinking about the next game, the next interview, the next thing that matters more than me." I tried to defend myself. I told her that I was building something, that everything I did for us, for our future, that the sacrifices I made were so she could have everything she ever wanted. She laughed. It was a bitter, hollow sound. "Everything I ever wanted?" she repeated. "You think I wanted this? You think I wanted to be married to someone who treats me like an accessory? Like a trophy you put on a shelf and forget about?" That hurt, but I stayed calm. I told her that wasn't fair, that I loved her, that I was doing my best. And that's when she said it. "Your best?" she spat. "Your best isn't enough. You know what? I'd rather kiss a dog than kiss you right now." The room went silent, not the comfortable kind of silence, the kind that feels like the air has been sucked out of the space, leaving nothing but emptiness. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just stood there holding my bag, staring at the woman I married, and wondering how we got here. She didn't apologize. She didn't take it back. She just turned and walked upstairs, leaving me standing in the kitchen like a fool. And that's when I knew. I knew it wasn't about the words. It was about what the words revealed. It was about the fact that she could say something like that and not even flinch. It was about the fact that she'd been thinking it long before she said it out loud. I don't know how long I stood there. Maybe 5 minutes. Maybe an hour. Time stopped making sense. Eventually, I walked into my office. The one room in this house that's actually mine. The one place where I keep the things that matter. My first jersey. My rookie contract. Photos of my mom, my brother, the people who were there before the fame, before the money, before any of this. I sat down at my desk and opened my laptop. And then I started canceling cards. Every credit card with my name on it. Every account she had access to. Every piece of plastic that let her live the life she wanted while telling me I wasn't enough. I wasn't angry. I wasn't even sad. I was just done. Each click felt like taking back a piece of myself. Each confirmation email felt like closing a door I should have closed a long time ago. When I was finished, I leaned back in my chair and stared at the ceiling. My phone buzzed. A text from my agent, Marcus. "Yo, you good? Saw you left practice early. Call me if you need anything." I didn't respond. Another text. This one from my teammate, Dre. "Bro, you looked off today. We got that game Saturday. Get your head right." I turned my phone face down on the desk. The truth is, I haven't been right in a long time. I've been going through the motions, playing the game, smiling for the cameras, signing the endorsements, living the dream everyone thinks I'm living. But somewhere along the way, I lost myself. I became the person everyone needed me to be, and I forgot who I actually was. And she knew it. She saw it. And instead of helping me find my way back, she used it against me. I hear footsteps upstairs, the sound of her moving around in the bedroom. Maybe she's getting ready for bed. Maybe she's scrolling through her phone, wondering why her card got declined when she tried to order something online. I wonder if she'll come down and confront me. Part of me hopes she does. Part of me hopes she doesn't. Because if she comes down here, I'll have to say it out loud. I'll have to tell her that I'm done, that I can't keep pretending, that the life we built together was built on a foundation of lies, and I'm tired of holding it up. But if she doesn't come down, if she just stays upstairs and pretends nothing happened, then maybe I can keep pretending too. Maybe I can keep living in this beautiful prison, surrounded by everything I thought I wanted, slowly dying inside. I close my eyes and think about my mom, about what she'd say if she could see me now. She'd probably tell me I'm being foolish, that marriage is hard, that love requires sacrifice, that I need to fight for what I have. But then I think about the look in my wife's eyes when she said those words, and I realize that you can't fight for someone who's already given up on you. My phone buzzes again. This time, it's her. We need to talk. I stare at the message for a long time. 3 words. So simple, so heavy. I don't respond. Instead, I stand up and walk over to the window. The city stretches out below me, a million lights flickering in the darkness. Somewhere out there, people are living their lives, falling in love, breaking up, starting over, moving on, and here I am, trapped in a house that's supposed to be a home, married to a woman I don't recognize anymore, wondering how I got so lost. I think about the game on Saturday, about stepping onto that court in front of 20,000 people, about the pressure, the expectations, the noise, and I realize that the court is the only place where things make sense anymore, where effort equals results, where loyalty is rewarded, where the rules are clear and the outcome is determined by what you do, not who you pretend to be. I grab my keys and head toward the garage. I need to get out of here. I need to go somewhere I can breathe, somewhere I can think. As I'm about to leave, I hear her voice from the top of the stairs. "Where are you going?" I don't turn around. "Out," I say. "It's 1 a.m. I know. She pauses. I can feel her trying to decide whether to push, whether to come down and stop me, whether to say something that might change everything. But she doesn't. And I walk out the door. The night air hits me like cold water. I stand in the driveway for a moment, looking back at the house. All the lights are off except for the one in our bedroom. Her silhouette moves across the window, then disappears. I get in my car and drive. I don't know where I'm going. I just know I can't stay there. The streets are empty. The city is quiet. It's just me and the sound of the engine and the thoughts I've been trying to avoid for months. I end up at the gym, the team facility, the place where I've spent more hours than I can count, pouring everything I have into becoming the best. I use my key card to get in. The building is dark, silent, empty. I walk through the halls, past the locker room, past the weight room, past the film room where we dissect every mistake, every missed opportunity, every moment where we could have been better, and I end up on the court. The hardwood stretches out in front of me, bathed in the dim emergency lighting. No crowd, no cameras, no pressure, just me and the game. I pick up a ball and start shooting. The rhythm is automatic. Dribble, step, release, swish, over and over. Each shot is a release. Each swish is a small victory in a night full of losses. I don't know how long I'm there. Minutes, hours. Time loses meaning when you're in the zone. Eventually, I sit down at center court, the ball resting in my lap, and I just breathe. This is who I am. This is what I know. This is the one place where I'm not pretending. And as I sit there in the silence, I make a decision. I'm not going back to that house tonight. I'm not going back to that life. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Because the man I was when I walked out that door isn't the same man who's sitting here now. And the woman upstairs, the one who said she'd rather kiss a dog than kiss me, isn't the woman I thought I married. So tomorrow, when the sun comes up and the world starts moving again, I'll figure out what comes next. But tonight, in this empty gym, under these dim lights, I'm just going to sit here and remember what it feels like to be alone with myself. And maybe, just maybe, that's the first step toward finding my way back. I wake up on the bench in the locker room. For a second, I forget where I am. Then the smell hits me. The familiar mix of leather, sweat, and cleaning solution. The overhead lights are still off. My neck is stiff. My phone is buzzing somewhere next to me. I reach for it. 23 missed calls. 37 text messages. Most of them are from her. The first few are almost polite, asking where I am, asking if I'm okay. But as the night went on, the tone shifted. Confusion turned to anger. Anger turned to panic. The most recent one, sent 20 minutes ago. Why aren't my cards working? I stare at that message for a long time. Part of me wants to feel guilty. Part of me wants to call her back, explain myself, maybe even apologize for making a decision without talking to her first. But then I remember the look on her face when she said those words, the coldness, the contempt, and I put my phone back down. There are also messages from Marcus, my agent. His are more direct. Call me ASAP. We need to talk. Don't do anything stupid. I almost laugh at that last one. Too late, Marcus. I already did. I sit up slowly, rubbing my face with both hands. My body aches in ways that have nothing to do with basketball. This is the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. I check the time. 6:30 in the morning. Practice isn't until 10. I have a few hours before I have to face anyone. I stand up and walk to the showers. The hot water feels like the first real thing I've felt in hours. I let it run over me, washing away the night, the fight, the weight of everything I've been carrying. When I step out, I see someone sitting on the bench where I slept. Dre. He's in his street clothes holding 2 cups of coffee, looking at me like he's been waiting for this moment. Bro, he says, handing me one of the cups. You look like hell. I take the coffee without saying anything. You slept here? Yeah. He nods slowly, like he's piecing something together. Your wife know where you are? I doubt it. Marcus has been blowing up the group chat, says you're not answering your phone. I'm not. Dre takes a sip of his coffee, studying me. We've been teammates for 4 years. We've been through playoff runs, injuries, trade rumors, and all the chaos that comes with this life. He knows me well enough to know when to push and when to just sit in the silence. He chooses silence. After a few minutes, I finally speak. She said something last night, something I can't get out of my head. Dre doesn't ask what it was. He just waits. I canceled all the cards, I continue. Every account she had access to. I couldn't keep doing it. Couldn't keep paying for a life that doesn't feel real anymore. Dre lets out a low whistle. Damn, bro. That's heavy. I know. You gonna tell me what she said? I shake my head. Doesn't matter. What matters is that I finally saw it. Saw what this whole thing has become. He nods. So what now? I don't know. We sit there for a while, drinking coffee in a locker room that's starting to feel more like home than the mansion I left last night. Eventually, Dre stands up. Look, man, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but whatever you're going through, don't let it mess with your head before Saturday. We need you locked in. I nod. I know. He pats me on the shoulder and walks out, leaving me alone again. I finish getting dressed and check my phone one more time. Another message from her. We need to talk. Now. And then, a few minutes later, I called Marcus. He's coming over. You need to fix this. I feel a flash of anger. Of course she called Marcus. Of course she's trying to control the narrative, to make sure everyone sees her as the victim and me as the villain. But Marcus isn't just her ally. He's my agent. He's the guy who's been with me since I got drafted, who helped me navigate this world when I was just a kid with a dream and no idea how to protect myself. So when my phone rings and his name flashes on the screen, I answer. Where the hell are you? He says, skipping any pleasantries. The gym. Of course you are. Listen, I just got off the phone with your wife. She's freaking out. Says you canceled all her cards without warning. That's right. There's a pause. Then, why? Because I'm done, Marcus. I'm done pretending everything's fine when it's not. He sighs. Look, I get it. Marriage is hard, especially in this life, but you can't just cut her off like that. You have shared accounts, shared assets. You need to think about the optics. The optics, I repeat. That's what you're worried about? I'm worried about you, he says, his tone softening. And I'm worried about what this looks like if it gets out. You're already dealing with enough pressure this season. The media is watching every move you make. If this becomes a story, it's already a story, I interrupt. The question is, whose story gets told? Marcus goes quiet for a moment. Then, what does that mean? It means I'm tired of being the guy who does everything right while everyone around me treats me like I'm not enough. I'm tired of being managed and controlled and told to smile for the cameras while my life falls apart behind closed doors. He exhales slowly. Okay, I hear you, but you need to be smart about this. You need to think about your career, your brand, everything you've built. I laugh, but there's no humor in it. My brand. You know what my brand is, Marcus? It's a lie. It's a carefully crafted image of a perfect life that doesn't exist, and I'm the one paying for it. Literally. There's another pause. Then, where do you want this to go? I don't know yet, but I'm not going back to that house. Not today. Fair enough. But you need to talk to her eventually. And you need to talk to a lawyer. A lawyer. The word hangs in the air like a bomb waiting to go off. Yeah, I say quietly. I know. I'll set up a meeting, Marcus says. Someone discreet. Someone who knows how to handle high-profile cases. But in the meantime, lay low. Don't talk to the media. Don't post anything online. And for God's sake, don't do anything else without calling me first. Got it. He hangs up. I sit there staring at my phone, feeling the weight of what I just set in motion. A lawyer. Divorce. The end of everything I thought my life was supposed to be. But also, maybe, the beginning of something real. I stand up and head toward the court. Practice doesn't start for another 3 hours, but I need to move. I need to do something that makes sense. I'm halfway through a shooting drill when I hear footsteps behind me. I turn around and see Coach Williams standing at the edge of the court, arms crossed, watching me. Coach is in his 60s, a former player himself, with the kind of presence that commands respect without saying a word. He's been in this league for 30 years, and he's seen everything. "You're here early," he says. "Couldn't sleep." He walks onto the court, picks up a ball, and starts shooting alongside me. We don't talk. We just shoot. The rhythm is meditative, calming. After a few minutes, he finally speaks. "You want to talk about it?" "Not really." He nods. "Fair enough. But let me tell you something. Whatever's going on off the court, it's going to show up on the court. You can't compartmentalize forever. I know. So you've got two choices. You can let it destroy you, or you can use it as fuel. But you have to decide which one it's going to be." I catch the ball and hold it, looking at him. "What would you do?" He smiles faintly. "I've been married 42 years. You know how many times I wanted to walk out? More than I can count. But here's the thing. Walking out is easy. Staying and fighting for something real, that's hard. So the question isn't whether you walk out. The question is whether there's anything worth fighting for. I don't know if there is. Then you need to find out. Because right now, you're in limbo. And limbo is the worst place to be." He passes me the ball and walks off the court, leaving me standing there with his words echoing in my head. Is there anything worth fighting for? I think about the woman I married. The one who used to laugh at my jokes. Who used to stay up late talking about our dreams. Who used to look at me like I was the only person in the world. And then I think about the woman who looked at me last night with contempt and told me she'd rather kiss a dog. I don't know where that first woman went. I don't know if she ever really existed, or if I just wanted her to so badly that I convinced myself she did. But I do know one thing. I can't keep living like this. I shoot one more free throw, watch it swish through the net, and walk off the court. By the time practice starts, I'm showered, dressed, and sitting in my locker, staring at my phone. There's a new message from her. "Marcus says you're getting a lawyer. Is that true?" I type back, "Yes." 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Finally, "I can't believe you're doing this to me." I almost laugh. To her. Like I'm the villain in this story. I put my phone away and head to the court. The team is gathering. Dre gives me a nod. A few other guys glance at me, probably sensing something's off but not saying anything. Coach blows the whistle and we start practice. For the next 2 hours, I lose myself in the game. In the drills, in the plays, in the only thing that still makes sense. And for those 2 hours, I don't think about her. I don't think about the cards. I don't think about the lawyer. I just play. When practice ends, I'm drenched in sweat and exhausted, but it's the good kind of tired. The kind that comes from giving everything you have to something that matters. As I'm heading back to the locker room, my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something tells me I should. "Hello? Is this the player?" A calm, professional voice asks. "Yeah." "Who's this?" "My name is David Chen. I'm an attorney. Marcus referred you to me. I understand you're looking for legal representation regarding a potential divorce." I pause. "Yeah, that's right. I'd like to meet with you as soon as possible. Discuss your options. Go over what the process looks like. The sooner we start, the better. When? How about tomorrow morning? 9 o'clock. My office downtown. I'll be there." "Good. And one more thing. Don't sign anything. Don't agree to anything. And don't discuss this matter with anyone except me and Marcus. Understood?" "Understood." He hangs up. I stand there in the hallway, phone in hand, and realize that this is really happening. This is the moment where everything changes, and there's no going back. The lawyer's office is nothing like I expected. I imagined something cold and corporate, all glass and steel and intimidation. But David Chen's office is warm. Wood paneling, leather chairs, bookshelves lined with legal texts and framed photos of his family. He's younger than I thought he'd be, maybe early 40s, with sharp eyes and a calm demeanor that makes me feel like I'm not the first person to sit in this chair with my life falling apart. He offers me coffee. I decline. "So, he says, settling into his chair and opening a leather folder. Tell me what's going on. I take a breath and start from the beginning. The fight, the words, the decision to cancel the cards, the realization that I've been living a lie. He listens without interrupting, taking notes on a yellow legal pad. When I finish, he sets his pen down and looks at me. First question, he says. Do you want to save this marriage? I don't answer right away. I thought I knew the answer when I walked in here. But now, sitting across from someone who's asking me to be brutally honest, I'm not so sure. I don't know, I finally say. Part of me wants to believe we can fix this, but another part of me thinks it's already broken beyond repair. He nods. That's fair. But here's what you need to understand. The legal process doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about facts, assets, liabilities, contracts. So before we go any further, I need to ask you some hard questions, and I need you to be completely honest with me, because anything you hide now will come back to hurt you later. Okay? Are you currently living in the marital home? No. I slept at the gym last night. I'm staying at a hotel right now. Good. That's actually smart. It establishes separation. Now, how long have you been married? 3 years. Any prenuptial agreement? I pause. Yeah. We signed one before the wedding. Do you have a copy? Marcus should have it. He makes a note. I'll need to see that. Prenups aren't always airtight, but they give us a starting point. Now, let's talk about finances. What kind of accounts do you have? Joint? Separate? I walk him through everything. The checking accounts, the savings, the investment portfolios, the real estate, the endorsement deals. With every detail, I feel more exposed, more vulnerable, like I'm laying my entire life on the table for someone to dissect. And the credit cards you canceled, he says. Were those joint accounts or were you the primary card holder? I was the primary. She was an authorized user. He writes that down. That's important. You have the legal right to remove an authorized user from your accounts. She might not like it, but it's not illegal. However, if you have joint accounts, you can't just freeze her out. That could be considered financial abuse and it would hurt your case. I didn't touch the joint accounts, just the ones in my name. Good. That shows you're being reasonable, that you're not trying to punish her. Just protect yourself. He flips through his notes, then looks up at me. Now, the big question. Are there any children involved? No. That simplifies things. No custody issues, no child support. The main issues will be property division and possibly alimony, depending on the prenup and her financial situation. She doesn't work. She hasn't worked since we got married. He nods. So she's financially dependent on you. That's going to be a factor. The court will consider the lifestyle she's become accustomed to. But again, the prenup will matter. If it's solid, it could limit her claims significantly. I feel a knot forming in my stomach. I don't know why. Maybe it's because this all feels so transactional, so cold, like we're reducing years of my life to line items on a spreadsheet. I need to ask you something else, he continues. Is there any infidelity involved? On either side? I shake my head. Not that I know of. You sure? Because if there is, and it comes out later, it could change things. I'm sure. He studies me for a moment, like he's trying to decide whether to believe me. Then he nods. Okay, here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to review your prenup. I'm going to have my team do a full financial workup. And then we're going to sit down and map out a strategy. But I need to be clear with you about something. What? Divorce is war. Even when both parties want to be civil, it gets ugly. People say things. They do things. And the person you thought you knew can become someone you don't recognize, so you need to be prepared for that. I already don't recognize her. He leans back in his chair. Then let me ask you this. What do you want out of this? What does a good outcome look like for you? I think about that. What do I want? I want my life back. I want to stop pretending. I want to wake up without feeling like I'm suffocating. But I also want to be fair. I want to walk away knowing I did the right thing, even if it costs me. I want to be fair, I say. I don't want to destroy her. I just want out. Fair is subjective, but I understand what you're saying. We'll do our best to make this as clean as possible, but you need to understand. She might not feel the same way. She might fight, and if she does, we need to be ready. I nod. He stands up, signaling the end of the meeting. I'll be in touch in a few days. In the meantime, document everything. Save all texts, emails, and any communication between you two. Don't delete anything. And most importantly, don't engage in any arguments or confrontations. Stay calm. Stay rational. I shake his hand and leave the office feeling both relieved and terrified. Relieved because I'm finally taking action. terrified because I don't know what comes next. I'm walking to my car when my phone rings. Marcus, how'd it go? He thinks we have a decent case, but it's going to get messy. It always does. Listen, we need to talk about the media. There are already whispers. People are starting to ask questions. What kind of questions? Why you weren't at the charity event last night? Why your wife posted a cryptic Instagram story? Why you've been MIA? I didn't even know she posted anything. He sends me a screenshot. It's a photo of her sitting on the couch in our living room, looking sad and vulnerable with the caption, "Sometimes the people closest to you hurt you the most." I stare at it, feeling a mix of anger and disbelief. She's playing the victim, Marcus says, and people are eating it up. You need to get ahead of this. How? By controlling the narrative, by being smart, by not giving her ammunition. I'm not going to fight her in public, I say. That's not who I am, I know. But you can't just stay silent either. Silence looks like guilt. I don't care how it looks. I care about the truth. He sighs. The truth doesn't matter if no one believes it. We hang up and I sit in my car, staring at her Instagram post. She's good at this. Good at making herself look like the wounded party. Good at manipulating perception. And for the first time, I wonder if I ever really knew her at all. I drive to the hotel where I've been staying. It's nothing fancy, just a place to sleep that isn't my house. When I walk into the room, I feel the emptiness press down on me. I sit on the edge of the bed and pull out my phone. I scroll through old photos of us, vacations, date nights, moments that seemed perfect at the time. But now, looking at them, I can see the cracks, the forced smiles, the distance in her eyes, the way I was always reaching for her and she was always pulling away. I delete the photos, not all of them, just the ones that hurt too much to look at. Then I call my mom. She answers on the second ring. "Baby, I've been worried about you. Where have you been?" "I'm okay, Ma. Just dealing with some stuff." "What kind of stuff?" I hesitate. I don't want to burden her, but I also need to talk to someone who knows me, someone who loves me without conditions. "It's me and her," I say quietly. "Things aren't good." There's a long pause. Then, "I'm sorry, baby. I really am." "You don't sound surprised." "I'm not. I could see it coming. I just hoped I was wrong." "Why didn't you say anything?" "Because you're grown. You have to make your own decisions. But if you're asking me what I think, I'll tell you. That girl never loved you. She loved what you could give her. And now that you're standing up for yourself, she's showing you who she really is." I feel tears prickling at the corners of my eyes. "I don't know what to do, Ma." "Yes, you do. You've always known. You're just scared to do it." She's right. I am scared. Scared of being alone. Scared of failing. Scared of what people will think. But I'm more scared of living the rest of my life in a marriage that makes me feel like I'm dying inside. I love you, Ma. I love you too, baby. And I'm proud of you. You're doing the right thing. We hang up, and I lie back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. For the first time in weeks, I feel like I can breathe. The next few days pass in a blur. Practice, film sessions, meetings with David, avoiding phone calls from her. The team notices something's off, but no one says anything. Dre checks in on me between drills. Coach gives me a look that says he knows I'm struggling but trusts me to figure it out. On Friday, the night before the big game, I'm in my hotel room when there's a knock on the door. I open it and find her standing there. She looks different, smaller, vulnerable, like she's been crying. "Can I come in?" she asks. I hesitate. Every instinct tells me to say no, to close the door and protect myself, but I step aside and let her in. She walks into the room and stands there looking around like she's never seen a hotel room before. "I've been trying to reach you," she says. "I know. Why won't you talk to me?" "Because there's nothing to say." She turns to face me, and I see the tears in her eyes. "I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't mean it." "Yes, you did." She shakes her head. "I was angry. I was hurt, but I didn't mean it." I sit down on the edge of the bed, suddenly exhausted. "It doesn't matter if you meant it or not. You said it, and you can't take it back. So that's it? You're just going to throw away everything we built because of one fight?" I look at her, really look at her, and I see the desperation in her eyes, the fear, the realization that the life she's been living is about to disappear. This isn't about one fight. This is about everything, about how you've made me feel for the past year, like I'm not enough, like I'm just a paycheck. That's not true, isn't it? When was the last time you asked me how I was doing? When was the last time you cared about anything other than what I could give you? She doesn't answer. I stand up and walk to the window. I can't do this anymore. I can't keep pretending that we're okay when we're not. So you're really doing this? You're really leaving me? I'm trying to save myself. She starts crying. Real, ugly sobs that make my chest ache. But I don't go to her. I don't comfort her. Because I know that if I do, I'll get pulled back in, and I'll lose myself all over again. Please, she whispers. Don't do this. I turn to face her. You did this. Not me. She stares at me for a long moment, and I see the moment she realizes she's lost. She wipes her eyes, straightens her shoulders, and walks to the door. Before she leaves, she turns back. You're going to regret this. Maybe, but I'll regret staying even more. She walks out, and the door closes behind her, and I'm alone again. But this time it doesn't feel like loneliness. It feels like freedom. Game day. I wake up in the hotel room at 6 in the morning, my body already buzzing with nervous energy. Normally, I'd be waking up next to her, going through our pre-game routine. She'd make me breakfast, kiss me for luck, tell me she'd be watching from her usual seat. But today, I wake up alone, and I have no idea if she'll even be there. I go through my morning ritual, stretch, shower, eat the same breakfast I always eat. Scrambled eggs, wheat toast, fruit. Superstition is a huge part of this game, and even with everything falling apart, I stick to what works. My phone buzzes. A text from Dr. Big Crowd tonight. Place is gonna be electric. You ready? I type back. Always, but I'm not sure that's true. Marcus calls as I'm getting dressed. Listen, he says, his voice tense. There's something you need to know before you get to the arena. What? She's going to be there. Courtside. Same seat she always sits in. I feel my jaw tighten. Of course she is. And she's not alone. She brought her sister and a few friends. They're making it a whole thing. Let me guess. Cameras, social media, the whole show. Exactly. She's playing the supportive wife angle, acting like everything's fine, like you're the one with the problem. I close my eyes and breathe. What do you want me to do about it? Nothing. Just ignore her. Don't give her the reaction she's looking for. Play your game. Let your performance speak for itself. That's the plan. Good. And one more thing. David called. The prenup is solid. Really solid. If this goes to court, you're in a good position. But she doesn't know that yet. So she's going to keep pushing, keep playing games until she realizes she has no leverage. When will that be? Soon. Just stay the course. We hang up and I stare at myself in the mirror. Tonight isn't just about basketball. It's about proving to myself, to her, to everyone watching, that I'm not broken, that I can still show up and perform even when my life is falling apart. I arrive at the arena 3 hours before tip-off. The parking garage is empty except for a few staff vehicles. I like it this way. Quiet, calm, before the storm. Inside, the building is alive with preparation. Staff setting up cameras, vendors stocking concessions, security running through protocols. It's organized chaos, and I slip through it unnoticed, heading straight for the locker room. A few guys are already there. Dre, our center, Marcus Thompson. A couple of rookies who are always early trying to prove themselves. Dre walks over and daps me up. How you feeling? Good. Locked in. He studies my face. You sure? I'm sure. He nods, but I can tell he doesn't fully believe me. That's fine. I'll show him on the court. Coach walks in an hour before the game. He doesn't say much. Just goes over the game plan, reminds us of our assignments, and ends with his usual line. This is our house. Let's protect it. The energy in the room shifts. It always does right before we take the court. The nervousness turns into focus. The noise fades. Everything else disappears. I close my eyes and visualize the game, the plays, the matchups, the moments where I'll need to be at my best. And then I think about her, sitting courtside, watching me, judging me, probably hoping I fail just so she can have something to use against me. I open my eyes. Not tonight. We take the court for warm-ups, and the arena is already half full. The crowd is buzzing. Music is blasting. The energy is electric. I scan the courtside seats and spot her immediately. She's wearing one of my jerseys. Her hair is perfect. Her makeup is flawless. She's laughing with her sister, acting like she doesn't have a care in the world. And I feel nothing. No anger, no sadness, no longing, just nothing. I turn away and start my shooting routine. Focus on the ball, the rim, the rhythm. One of the rookies passes me the ball, and I drain a 3 from the wing. The crowd cheers. I do it again and again. By the time warm-ups are over, I've made 23 shots in a row and the crowd is on their feet. Dre jogs over, grinning. Bro, you're on fire. I haven't even started yet. The game tips off, and from the first possession, I can feel it. That rare, undeniable feeling where everything clicks, where every movement is instinctive, where the game slows down and I see everything before it happens. I score on a fast break layup, then a pull-up jumper from the elbow, then a step-back three in transition. By the end of the first quarter, I have 15 points and the crowd is going crazy. During the timeout, coach pulls me aside. Whatever you're feeling right now, keep it going. You're playing with an edge I haven't seen in months. I nod, breathing hard, sweat dripping down my face. I glance at the courtside seats. She's not smiling anymore. She's staring at me, and I can see the confusion in her eyes, like she doesn't understand how I can be playing this well when our life is falling apart. But that's the thing she never understood. This is where I've always been most myself. Not at home, not with her. Here. The second quarter is more of the same. I'm in a zone. Every shot feels automatic. Every pass is on point. Every defensive play is instinctive. At halftime, we're up by 18, and I have 29 points. In the locker room, the guys are hyped. Dre slaps me on the back. Man, where has this version of you been all season? Right here, I say. Just needed to remember who I am. Coach gives a short speech about maintaining focus, not getting comfortable, finishing strong. But I'm barely listening. I'm already thinking about the second half, about putting this game away, about sending a message. When we come out for the third quarter, the energy in the arena is different. The crowd senses something special is happening. They're louder, more engaged, and I feed off it. I score on a tough fadeaway over a double team. I hit a transition three with a hand in my face. I drive baseline, absorb contact, and finish with my offhand. The crowd is on their feet. My teammates are going crazy on the bench. Even coach, who never shows emotion, is clapping. With 5 minutes left in the third quarter, I'm at 41 points. The opposing coach calls a timeout, and as I'm walking to the bench, I hear someone shout my name from the crowd. I look up and see a kid, maybe 10 years old, holding a sign that says, "You're my hero," and something shifts inside me. This is why I play. Not for the money, not for the fame, not to prove anything to anyone. I play because somewhere out there, a kid is watching and dreaming. And if I can inspire that, even for one night, then all of this is worth it. The game continues, and I keep attacking. By the end of the third quarter, I'm at 53 points, and the arena is absolutely electric. In the huddle before the fourth quarter, coach looks at me. "You want to sit? Rest for the next game?" I shake my head. "I'm finishing this." He smiles. That's what I wanted to hear. The fourth quarter is a blur. I'm not thinking anymore, I'm just playing. Pure instinct, pure joy. With 3 minutes left, I'm at 62 points, and the crowd is chanting my name. I hit a deep three from the logo, and the place erupts. 65. I steal the ball on defense, go coast to coast, and finish with a thunderous dunk. 67. The opposing team calls another timeout, and as I'm walking back, I make the mistake of glancing at her. She's crying. Not the manipulative tears from the hotel room. Real tears. Like she's mourning something she just realized she lost. And I feel a pang of sadness. Not for her. For what we could have been if she had ever really seen me. But the sadness fades quickly, replaced by clarity. This is who I am. This is what I do. And I don't need her validation to know my worth. The final buzzer sounds, and we win by 32 points. Final stat line, 70 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. The crowd is on their feet, chanting my name. My teammates mob me on the court. Coach gives me a rare hug. In the locker room, it's pure chaos. Guys are spraying water, laughing, celebrating. The media is already asking for interviews, but I just sit in my locker, staring at my hands, feeling something I haven't felt in a long time. Peace. Dre sits down next to me. "That was insane, bro. Best game I've ever seen you play. It felt good." He lowers his voice. "She was watching, you know." "I know. And it doesn't matter. Not anymore." He nods, understanding. "You're free, man. You're finally free." I shower, get dressed, and prepare for the media onslaught. The press conference is packed, cameras everywhere, reporters shouting questions. How does it feel to score 70 points? What was going through your mind out there? Is this the best game of your career? I answer the questions on autopilot, saying all the right things about the team, about the fans, about staying focused. But then, near the end, a reporter asks a different question. "There are rumors about personal issues off the court. Can you comment on that?" The room goes silent. Everyone's waiting to see how I'll respond. I take a breath. My personal life is personal. But I will say this. Tonight reminded me why I love this game. It reminded me who I am when everything else is stripped away. and that's all that matters. The room stays quiet for a moment, then someone starts clapping, and then everyone is clapping. The press conference ends, and I walk out of the arena feeling lighter than I have in months. My phone buzzes, a text from her. "You were amazing tonight." I stare at the message for a long time. Part of me wants to respond, to say thank you, to leave the door open just a crack, but I don't. I delete the message and keep walking. Outside, the night air is cool and crisp. The parking lot is mostly empty now. Just a few stragglers, fans hoping to catch a glimpse of the players. I'm about to get in my car when I hear a voice. "Excuse me?" I turn around and see an older man, maybe in his 60s, standing a few feet away. He's wearing a team jacket and holding a game program. "I'm sorry to bother you," he says. "I just wanted to say thank you." "For what?" "For tonight. For reminding me why I love this game. I've been coming to games for 40 years, and that's one of the best performances I've ever seen." I smile. "That means a lot. Thank you." He nods and starts to walk away, then turns back. "And whatever you're going through off the court, I hope you find peace. You deserve it." He walks off before I can respond, and I'm left standing there, feeling a lump in my throat. I get in my car and drive back to the hotel. When I walk into my room, I don't feel alone. I feel present, connected to something bigger than myself. I pull out my phone and call my mom. "I just wanted to hear your voice," I say when she answers. "I watched the game, baby. You were incredible. Thanks, Ma. How do you feel?" I think about that. How do I feel? I feel like I'm finally becoming the person I was always meant to be. She's quiet for a moment. Then, "Good. That's all I ever wanted for you." We talk for a few more minutes and then I hang up. I lie back on the bed and stare at the ceiling, replaying the game in my mind. 70 points. But more than that, I prove something to myself. I don't need her to be whole. I don't need anyone's approval or validation. I just need to keep showing up, keep being honest, keep fighting for the life I want. And for the first time in a long time, I believe that's enough. 3 months later, the divorce papers are signed, the house is sold, the settlement is final, and I'm sitting in a new apartment, smaller than the mansion but mine, looking out at the city lights and feeling something I haven't felt in years: content. The process wasn't easy. There were lawyers, negotiations, arguments over who gets what, moments where I wanted to give up, give in, just to make it stop. But David kept me focused, kept reminding me that short-term pain leads to long-term peace. The prenup held up. She got a settlement, enough to live comfortably for a while, enough to start over, but not enough to keep living the lifestyle she'd become accustomed to. She fought it at first, threatened to go public, to tell her side of the story, to make me look like the villain. But Marcus shut that down quickly. One phone call to her lawyer, reminding them of what we had, texts, emails, documented spending, and the threats stopped. In the end, she took the deal, signed the papers, and disappeared from my life as quickly as she'd entered it. I haven't seen her since that night at the hotel, haven't talked to her since the lawyers took over, and I don't plan to. Some people think I'm cold for that I should have tried harder, that I gave up too easily. But those people don't know what it feels like to lose yourself in someone else's expectations, to wake up every day feeling like you're drowning. I didn't give up. I survived. The team has been incredible through all of this. Coach never pried, never asked for details, just kept me focused on the game. Dre checked in constantly, made sure I wasn't isolating, dragged me out to dinner when I was spending too much time alone. And the fans have been unbelievable. After that 70-point game, something shifted. They saw me differently, not as the guy with the perfect life, but as someone who was fighting through something real. The support I've received has been overwhelming. Letters, messages, people sharing their own stories of heartbreak and recovery. It reminded me that everyone's fighting battles no one else can see. And sometimes just showing up and being honest about your struggle is the bravest thing you can do. I'm in the middle of cooking dinner, something I've started doing for myself, learning recipes from YouTube, finding peace in the routine, when my phone rings. It's Marcus. "Hey," I answer, stirring pasta on the stove. "You sitting down?" "I'm cooking." "What's up?" "The endorsement deals are pouring in. After that performance and the way you handled everything publicly, brands want you more than ever. We're talking major campaigns. Authenticity is what sells now, and you're the real deal." I smile. "That's great, Marcus. Really." There's a pause. "You don't sound excited." "I am. I'm in a different place now. Money's important, but it's not everything. I know. And that's exactly why they want you." We talk for a few more minutes about upcoming opportunities, then hang up. The pasta is ready. I plate it, pour myself a glass of water, and sit down at my small dining table. No fancy china, no chandelier overhead. Just me, my food, and the quiet hum of the city outside. And it's perfect. After dinner, I head to the gym. Not the team facility. A small local gym in my neighborhood where I can work out without being recognized. Where I can just be another guy trying to stay in shape. I'm on the treadmill when I notice someone watching me. A woman, maybe mid-30s, running on the treadmill next to mine. She glances over, smiles politely, then goes back to her workout. It's refreshing. No agenda, no recognition, just a normal interaction. When I'm done, I'm stretching by the mats when she walks over. I'm sorry if this is weird, she says, but are you... I brace myself for the usual. The autograph request. The selfie. But she surprises me. Are you the guy who scored 70 points a few months ago? I nod. Yeah, that's me. She smiles. That was incredible. My son was there. He hasn't stopped talking about it since. I feel a warmth in my chest. That's awesome. How old is he? 10. He plays basketball at his school. You're his hero. I smile. Tell him to keep working hard. And tell him it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, even when it's hard. She nods like she understands there's more behind those words. Then she extends her hand. I'm Sarah, by the way. Nice to meet you, Sarah. She walks away, and I'm left standing there, feeling something I haven't felt in a long time. Hope. Not for a relationship. Not for anything specific. Just hope that there are still good people in the world. People who see you as a person, not a commodity. That night, I'm lying in bed when my phone buzzes. A text from my mom. Just wanted to say I'm proud of you, baby. Not for the basketball, for the man you're becoming. I read it 3 times, feeling tears prick the corners of my eyes. I type back, love you, Ma. Thank you for never giving up on me. She sends back a heart emoji, and I fall asleep with a smile on my face. The next morning, I wake up early and head to the park near my apartment. There's a basketball court there, worn and cracked, where local kids play pickup games. I sit on the bench and watch them. They're young, maybe 12 or 13, full of energy and dreams. They're arguing over fouls, talking trash, laughing. One of them recognizes me. His eyes go wide and he elbows his friend. Yo, that's... Before he can finish, I stand up. You guys need one more? They stare at me like I'm an alien. Then, all at once, they start shouting. Yeah! For real? Come on, man. I step onto the court, and for the next hour, I'm just another player. No cameras. No pressure, no expectations, just basketball. We play 3 games. I let them win the first one, they earn the second one, and the third is close, but they pull it out at the end with a lucky 3-pointer. When we're done, we're all sweating, laughing, catching our breath. One of the kids, the one who recognized me first, walks over. That was the coolest thing ever. Thank you. I ruffle his hair. Keep playing, keep dreaming, and remember, it's not about where you start, it's about where you're willing to go. He nods, eyes shining with admiration. As I'm walking home, I think about how far I've come. From the mansion, the fake smiles, the suffocating life, to this, a small apartment, genuine connections, and a sense of peace I didn't think was possible. I'm not saying it's been easy. There are still hard days. Days when I miss the idea of what I thought my life was supposed to be. Days when I wonder if I made the right choice. But then I remember the look on her face when she said those words. And I remember the feeling of waking up every day in that house, suffocating under the weight of expectations. And I know I made the right choice. A few weeks later, I'm at a charity event for underprivileged kids. It's something I've always supported, but now I'm more involved, more present. I'm sitting with a group of kids talking about basketball, about life, about chasing dreams, when one of them asks a question that stops me cold. Did you ever want to give up? I look at him. He's maybe 9 years old with big eyes and a serious expression. Yeah, I say honestly. I did. There were times when everything felt too hard, when I didn't think I could keep going. What did you do? I kept showing up, even when I didn't want to, even when it hurt. Because giving up would have meant losing the one thing I loved most, this game, and myself. He nods slowly, like he's processing something deeper than basketball. After the event, I'm walking to my car when I see someone standing by the driver's side door. It's her. My heart skips a beat. Not because I still have feelings for her, but because I didn't expect this, didn't prepare for it. She looks different, thinner, tired, like the weight of everything has finally caught up with her. Hi, she says quietly. Hi. We stand there in awkward silence for a moment. I just wanted to say I'm sorry, she finally says. For everything. For the things I said. For the person I became. I nod. Okay. She looks at me, searching my face for something. Anger. Resentment. Regret. But there's nothing there. Just calm. You look good, she says. Happy. I am. She bites her lip. I know I don't deserve it, but do you think we could ever be friends? I think about that. About whether it's possible to be friends with someone who hurt you so deeply. I don't know, I say honestly. Maybe one day. But right now, I need to focus on me, on rebuilding my life, and I can't do that if I'm still holding on to the past. She nods, tears welling up in her eyes. I understand. She turns to leave, then stops. For what it's worth, I really am sorry, and I hope you find everything you're looking for. I already have. She walks away, and I watch her go. Not with sadness, not with anger, just with acceptance. That chapter of my life is over, and I'm okay with that. I get in my car and drive home, feeling lighter than I have in months. When I walk into my apartment, I look around at the space I've created for myself, the books on the shelf, the photos of my family on the wall, the basketball sitting in the corner, waiting for the next pickup game. This is my life now. Simple, honest, mine, and it's enough. That night, I get a call from Coach. I wanted to let you know, he says, that you've been selected for the All-Star team. I feel a surge of pride. That's incredible. Thank you, Coach. You earned it. Not just with your performance on the court, but with the way you've carried yourself off it. You've been through hell and you came out stronger. That's what leadership looks like. I appreciate that. There's a pause. Then, how are you doing? Really? I'm good, Coach. Better than I've been in a long time. Good. Because we need you. Not just for the games, but for what you represent. Resilience. Authenticity. Heart. I'll be there. We hang up, and I sit on my couch, staring at the city lights outside my window. I think about the kid at the park, the kids at the charity event, the fan who thanked me after the game, my mom, Dre Coach, all the people who've shown me what really matters. It's not the money. It's not the fame. It's not the perfect life that looks good on Instagram. It's the connections, the moments, the small acts of kindness and courage that add up to something real. I pull out my phone and start typing a post, something I've been thinking about for weeks but haven't had the courage to say. I've been through a lot this year, some of it public, most of it private. I've made mistakes, I've felt pain, I've questioned everything. But through it all, I've learned something important. Your worth isn't determined by what you have or who you're with. It's determined by who you are when everything else is stripped away. I'm not perfect. I'm still figuring things out. But I'm committed to being honest, to showing up, to fighting for the life I want, not the life everyone expects me to have. To anyone out there who's struggling, who feels lost, who's wondering if it gets better, it does. But only if you're willing to do the hard work, to let go of what's not serving you, to bet on yourself. Thank you to everyone who supported me, who's believed in me, who's reminded me that I'm not alone. This is just the beginning. I posted and put my phone down. Within minutes, the likes and comments start pouring in. Messages of support, people sharing their own stories, thanking me for being vulnerable. And I realized that this honesty, this openness, is more powerful than any highlight reel or endorsement deal, because it's real. I turn off my phone and lie down on the couch, feeling a deep sense of peace. Tomorrow I'll wake up and go to practice, I'll work on my game, I'll show up for my teammates, I'll keep building the life I want, but tonight I'm just going to rest and be grateful. Grateful for the pain that taught me who I am. Grateful for the people who stood by me. Grateful for the courage to start over. And grateful for the knowledge that no matter what happens next, I'll be okay. Because I'm not running anymore. I'm not hiding. I'm not pretending. I'm just living. And that's more than enough. The city lights flicker outside my window, casting shadows across the room. Somewhere out there, someone is struggling with their own battle, fighting their own demons, wondering if they have the strength to keep going. And I hope they find it, because if I can make it through, anyone can. You just have to be willing to let go of who you were, to become who you're meant to be. And that's the scariest, bravest, most beautiful thing you'll ever do. I close my eyes and drift off to sleep, knowing that when I wake up, I'll face whatever comes next with clarity, strength, and peace, because I'm finally free. And freedom, I've learned, is worth everything.